Hi guys, my name is Eva McEnnis. I am a senior water researcher with Irish Manufacturing Research. Today I'm going to give a quick overview of the true cost of water methodology and the circular economy of water. Next slide, please. So, where is water being used today? Over the last century, 70% of the world's fresh water has been withdrawn for the agricultural sector and 20% for the industrial sector. However, the demand for water by the industrial sector is constantly increasing, and it's predicted to increase by 400% by 2050. Next slide, please. As Geraldine has previously mentioned, Circulera have created a number of guides on the circular economy, one of these being Towards a Circular Economy of Water in Ireland. As the planet warms, water has become one of the main mediums through which we are experiencing climate change. In accordance with the United Nations Environment Programme, over 90% of natural disasters and climate impacts are water related. The guide covers movements being made towards a circular economy of water in Ireland and how the 9 strategies you can see here have been used in different manufacturing sectors across the country. These 9 strategies represent the broadest definitions of the circular economy of water and are the most applicable to industry. It's important to highlight the role of rethink, which is rethinking the way we use water by reconfiguring and reconceptualizing in favor of a more circular utilization as an umbrella concept. So acting as the first step to the application of each one of the other 8 strategies. And next slide, please. AstraZeneca is a great pharmaceutical example of implementing some of these strategies to move towards a more circular view on water. I won't go into too much detail on this case study, but I just want to highlight the work being done in Ireland. So through rethinking their cleaning in place systems, they managed to reduce their water and chemical use on site, and it resulted in 12.5 million litres of water being saved annually. This case study, along with so many others, can be seen in the guide Towards a Circular Economy of Water in Ireland using the QR code on the bottom of this screen there. Next slide, please. So I'm just going to give a quick overview now of the true cost of water methodology that we have implemented within manufacturing plants across Ireland. Next slide, please. So there are many challenges facing manufacturing facilities today. Water challenges are becoming increasingly difficult to face. Climate change is impacting our water sources and supply by contributing to decrease in water quality and increasing risks of drought and floods. Ireland is growing rapidly with new housing and manufacturing facilities, so there's increased pressure on our existing infrastructure that is currently aging. The cost of treatment and transport of water is increasing significantly, with increased energy costs around the world at the moment and increased costs of equipment and spare parts. There are stricter licensing requirements being brought in for discharge and growing demands for sustainability reporting. So this is putting a lot of pressure on companies to set and hit sustainability targets. And the cost of taking and discharging water is increasing, whether that is the increase of water use tariffs in Ireland or the introduction of additional costs this year for trade effluent. Water use and discharge need to be closely monitored and optimized. Next slide, please. A large challenge that we see within industry is the ability for teams to get water optimization projects approved. Water is often seen as a low-cost, infinite resource in Ireland. However, the true cost of water concept allows companies to understand how much their water is actually costing them. As you can see in the image here, the water bills are just the tip of the iceberg. On top of these bills are all the operational costs and capital expenses. This includes things like chemicals, energy, labour, storage, and many other expenses that are usually overlooked. It's important for these costs to be highlighted and understood by management to ensure that water is used efficiently. Next slide, please. This is where the true cost of water methodology comes into play. This methodology provides companies with a greater understanding of their water use and opportunities by supplying them with detailed water maps and metering plans, mass balance, Sankey diagrams, a cost per type of water, and a register of opportunities. Next slide, please. In order to give an accurate water map and metering plan, our team conducts a site walkthrough. We review all of the P&IDs on a site and review existing meters and monitoring systems. This allows for a gap analysis of sites' metering systems and a map outlining all water systems from your water source through to your treatment processes, end users, and waste and discharge streams. Next slide, please. After this analysis, we conduct an extensive review of all the water data available on site and generate a Sankey diagram comparing your water in versus your water out. This allows for the identification of significant water users. Next slide, please. From there, then we do the cost of type per water. So this is a calculation that takes into account all of the treatment, transport, labour, along with many other factors that go into getting water on site to a necessary quality. Ireland uses a water tariff system that you can see here on the left, which is broken into bands dependent on water usage on site, along with standing charges. However, the true cost of water will show that the actual spend on water is a lot higher than just the bills, sometimes bringing your cost from around 250,000 a year to over $1 million when you take into consideration all the different expenses going into your water. Next slide, please. So when we take the mass balance and the true cost of water calculations into account, we are able to generate a register of water saving opportunities. This is very site dependent, but it allows for teams to have projects that will have a feasible return on investment. Next slide, please. We have carried out this project in many pharmaceutical companies, but unfortunately, due to confidential information, I can't share too much detail on these projects. I have included on the slide a biopharma company and a medical device company that we have worked with, and it shows the impacts that this methodology has had with very large water and cost savings on site. Next slide, please. Although Wyeth is not a pharmaceutical company, it is a great example of the true cost of water, and thankfully Wyeth are very willing to let us share their journey. So Wyeth is a Nestlé infant formula plant based in Limerick here in Ireland. Wyeth started working with IMR in 2019 as there was a lack of understanding around how much was being spent on water and a lack of visibility on the significant water users. Wyeth takes directly from the River Deal in Limerick, so water and wastewater are treated on site. There was an understanding of the maintenance and labour costs associated with the treatment facilities, but many other expenses were overlooked. This led to hesitation to chase water saving projects as it was considered a low cost, infinite resource by the site, and the return on investment wasn't realised. The leadership team on site were very driven to change the perception of water on site and to reduce the use sustainably, while also taking the community surrounding the site into consideration as the withdrawal from the river impacted them directly. Next slide, please. In order to solve these issues, the true cost of water process was carried out and has been implemented every year since. This allowed for new projects to be highlighted. Some of the projects that have been carried out on site are reverse osmosis reject reuse, cleaning in place or CIP optimization, and seal water reduction, and the Alliance for Water Stewardship standard has been implemented on site for the last number of years. The Alliance for Water Stewardship calls for continuous improvement on the site's water balance and water quality, and the true cost of water helped highlight the areas on site that would allow for the site to achieve these outcomes. I'm just going to highlight quickly the first two projects here. So for the reverse osmosis, it was highlighted as a high cost and high loss system through the true cost of water process. And although the site had installed a recovery system, a recovery skid, there was still a high percentage of water being rejected to the drain. So it was rerouted to an effluent fat sump for reuse, and that reduced the potable water on site by 20,000 cubic meters a year and avoided generation of over 7,000 cubic meters of effluent a year. Then when we carried out the true cost of water, we implemented the true cost of CIP, as CIP was shown to use over 40% of the water on site. The water use was reduced significantly after this cost was realised through baseline surveys, verification studies, and a lot of quality testing. The water was reduced without compromising the quality of the process. Not only did this lead to a more efficient system, but it gave the process areas a lot of time back for production. Next slide, please. As I mentioned previously, the Alliance for Water Stewardship standard calls for sites to continuously improve. It is a globally applicable framework for major water users to help sites understand and improve on their impacts, not only on the site, but within their community or catchment. After calls from Nestlé to implement the standard, Wyeth started their water stewardship journey in 2019, and they were certified to the standard in 2020. They're the first site in Ireland to be certified and have maintained the Platinum certification, which is the highest level of certification over the last 6 years. Next slide, please. The dedication to water excellence on the site has resulted in water use being reduced by over 50% over the last few years. In 2025 alone, Wyeth's reduction in water use resulted in the reduction of over 20,000 kg of CO2 and a saving of over €380,000. They have held Platinum certification in the Alliance for Water Stewardship since 2020, and they were awarded the Sustainable Water Achievement Award in 2024 Green Awards, and have been finalists for this award for many years. Next slide, please. As we've seen, Wyeth are a great example of what the true cost of water can help a site achieve. Through all of the hard work and dedication to the process on site, they have managed to reduce their water consumption by over 330,000 cubic meters, have saved over €2 million, and reduced their carbon emissions associated with the water by almost 115,000 kg over the last 5 years. Next slide, please. That is all from me. Thank you so much. If you have any questions or would like to reach out, please let us know. Their emails are on that slide. Thank you.